Madrid too are doing something very, very, very good. Now let's look at one thing that I worry about Madrid, like, is that the system that this coach is playing is like an all-out attack, all-out defensive approach, which is very good. It means you won't concede a lot of goals. But if I look at this same approach going to the season for him, I become a little bit scared for him because his bench, does he have quality on the bench? It's a good topic to discuss, because if you are playing the same approach till December, trust me, the players are human beings. You need to get people on the bench who can come and rotate and get you the results. Let's say Ceballos in midfield, can he perform back-to-back games? Bellingham is going to have a surgery. Who slots in for him and do the job for them? So for me, his approach is crazy. And I think last month when we were here, I had the report from Marsa that he will have like a three-back approach, and Sporting posted that we had people saying, "Oh, Charlie, Ubia can and it's normal," which is normal. But you see, the approach is so beautiful. Tchouaméni is his cornerstone, like you call him, and Tchouaméni is doing something so important. And sometimes all you need is a coach who can understand what you can do. This man comes in. Look at Tchouaméni now. Look at Arda Güler. So, like I said, when they are building up, it's like a three-back system, and Tchouaméni becomes like their central centre back. At the same time, when they move into the centre half, he becomes like their number 6, their deep line playmaker, or their DM. So the instructions he has given these Madrid players, they are getting it. They're like, it's wearing on them, and that is good. And I always say, if you go to Madrid as a coach and you have an idea, it's a plus for you. The players will play for you. If you go to Madrid, they don't have a plan. The players will play for the club. So any coach who goes to Madrid, you have to kill. You have to try for them, because let them buy into your system and they'll play for you.
But Ajo, you talked about the squad depth, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go through the Madrid squad.
Good.
And then we'll see.
Let's look at the French players. Yeah.
So their goalkeepers, they got Thibaut Courtois. He's 33 years old. They've got Andre Lunin, 26, and Fran Gonzalez, 20. He had a few run-outs last season.
Courtois, the best keeper in the world.
Yeah. They've got Dean Houston.
Okay.
He's just 20 years old.
Yeah.
Plays like a maverick.
Yeah.
Raul Asensio is 22.
Okay.
Then Eder Militao is coming back from injury.
French player. I want to throw it to the guys. Can you? What's the guarantee that now he can do so well when he given the chance?
Anyway, Rudiger is still there. David Alaba is also still there. They've got Fran Garcia.
David Alaba, look at him.
Fran Garcia. They've got Ferland Mendy. We're hearing he's going to be leaving.
The French player to Garcia.
Yeah.
You can't trust him.
They've got Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Super.
They've got Danny Carvajal is also coming back, remember?
Yeah, I think we can trust because he has experience.
Yeah, Carvajal is also coming back. So, I mean, you look at the squad and you look at the balance, right?
Yeah.
So imagine they have all these guys available next season. Now, they've got Lucas Vasquez, who's leaving. The team are not renewing his contract. Aurelien Tchouaméni is there.
The cornerstone.
Mario Martin is one of the players that Xabi Alonso has promoted. Yeah, Mario Martin. Federico Valverde, Eduardo Camavinga, Dani Ceballos. Modric is leaving. Jude Bellingham. He has also brought in Rainier.
Okay.
Rainier is a new signing. They paid $1 million for him. Vinicius Junior, Rodrigo, who might be leaving. Arda Güler, Brahim Diaz, who's also another good backup.
Yes, good, solid backup.
Kylian Mbappe, Endrick, who his entourage have asked that he wants to leave.
And now he said he can play one there as a winger.
Yeah, because of the emergence of this guy, Gonzalo Garcia.
Super tactical boy. Very technical player.
And then Alvaro Rodriguez as well has come in to this Real Madrid setup. Yeah. Would you still, on the evidence of this, say they lack the depth they need?
The French players are not like Madrid-like for me. Let's say you bring Ceballos in to play back-to-back games. Can he give you that consistency? I trust Diaz. I trust Carvajal. Defenders who I don't trust Militao. That is why the midfielder. That's why he's crying for at least one midfielder. And Don Perez will get him that else to worry him going to the season. It's a marathon. Barca, they have everything ready. Sometimes I say Barca they didn't even need Nico Williams.
Yeah, that's true.
They didn't need Nico Williams, but they tried to get him. They didn't need Nico Williams.
They didn't need him.
If they want to get a backup left winger, they can't, and then they come to get Rashford. Rashford might not even start because the plan with Rafinha is that Rafinha moves into the middle, and what's his name? the left back surges forward. So the system helps. They don't need Nico Williams for anything, but they wanted to get him because they are showing ambitions in the market. So for Madrid's bench, I'm a little bit skeptical that the approach this man has taken, which is very, very good for him. All out defense, all out attack. They need depth. They need quality. Rodrigo, is he staying or leaving? Is he even okay to sit on the bench? So let's see how that one will go. I want to talk about the plan he has for Arda Güler. It's very nice. Now, this guy is a number 10, attacking midfielder who can play as a right winger. But this coach comes in and he makes Arda Güler like, let's say, a deep line playmaker, depending on where they want to move the ball to. So in build-up, he comes so deep to help with the build-up, and he helped by either Valverde or Bellingham. Now, this coach comes in and he gets his instructions clear to one of these players, Bellingham or Valverde. When one moves, one stays. They have some telepathic understandings very early. So Bellingham knows when to move and go and help as a box crasher and also come back. And Valverde also knows when to move and come. So anytime you see Bellingham in the box, Valverde is sitting. It's helping Arda Güler in the pivot. Maybe Arda Güler also moved to the right wing, and now the pivot is Tchouaméni and Valverde or Bellingham. So this coach has come in and he has made sure that midfielders are knowing what to do. They are all getting the instructions very right. And that is pure coaching. I didn't see this under Ancelotti. So it makes them control the game. Valverde's best position is being a box crasher. And he's doing it, he's having fun with it. But he will come back and also come and help whoever is pivoting for the team at that moment. Be it either Güler or offering Tchouaméni. Because immediately Tchouaméni helps with the build-up in the back line, he moves into midfield. And you have your Rudiger and your Dean Huijsen at the back. And he makes sure the fullbacks are wide. It's a 3-back system. So we told Madrid fans, this coach will go with the 3-back system. Some argued and some were like, no, he won't. But on paper, if you see 4-4-2-3-1, it is still a 3-back system. That can be breaking down to so many systems. Kelvin can come in and show them later. Yeah, so I feel like, look at how he has gotten the best out of Garcia, the left back. Because he knows when to hug, like stretch the...
Both Garcia.
Yes, so this is what they do. Arnold and him, they will stretch the field for you so that the midfielders can penetrate easily. And we are seeing Vinicius not trying to play well. The Garcia guy understands the role he's playing, when to be in the box, when to drop deep, when to help. Arda Güler is enjoying the role. Bellingham is enjoying the box to box, but has to come and help the pivot player. So he has gone in his first 1 month. His instructions is with the players. My only problem, and he has seen it, is Antonio Rudiger.
Why is he a problem?
You see, in this system, the back line, when it becomes a 3-back, everybody has to be good on the ball. Let's just say Rudiger is not on top form.
But Rudiger is one of the best ball carriers when it comes to defenders.
I like that. But I see, he even made reference to him being at Chelsea. At Chelsea, we saw Rudiger at the left side of the defense. But me, I want to blame it on maybe bad form. Because Rudiger, I'm expecting you to be on the right and play equally well when you're on the left. Because Dean Huijsen is like a centre back who's like a ball playing midfielder. Just one pass from Dean Huijsen and he has just split the opponent. So I like what I'm seeing from this coach, but my only problem is that when people read him, you're going to play PSG on Wednesday. This coach can easily double up on you with Arnold. Trent will be his weakness because they'll always target Trent. How will Rudiger help Trent? How will he save him out of trouble? Because Trent does not really overlap. He just hugs the line in the central areas and make sure that he can like beam in crosses. But if they want to double up on anybody, they'll go to Trent first. If PSG wants to go, they'll go Kvaratskhelia and they'll overlap Mendes, or they'll make sure that the positional changes. Due will come and help Kvaratskhelia on the left, and that will help, or that will confuse Arnold. That means you have to bring one of your defenders, your midfielders, back to help either Tchouaméni or Bellingham. So either Valverde or Bellingham. So it's a lot of good things going to the Wednesday game. But the plan is that I want to see how Xabi Alonso can come up against the big men. That is Luis Enrique. And I know that they will target Arnold on the day. That's why Rudiger has to really help. And if you imagine Rudiger is doing a better, he goes to make a mistake with his passing. He has doomed the team. So far, so good. I'm waiting to see how he will bring Mbappe into the team, because the Garcia guy has kept Mbappe on the bench because of the injury that he had. And he's like the young best player at the tournament so far. I think he's good. Technique is there. He understands the game. He plays like he's an old man.
He's played his way into Xabi Alonso's plans.
Yeah, and people are calling him the Raul, but I'm seeing Van Nistelrooy. People are calling him the Raul because of the Madrid affiliation, but I'm seeing like he understands the role like he's like Van Nistelrooy type of player. Slow but sure. I know when to move. I know when to head the ball. I know when to operate. And they have this. Wait, is he from La Masia?
Yes, from La Masia. No, not La Masia.
He's from Castilla.
He's from Castilla.
So
La Masia is Barcelona.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why I asked that question. Is he from La Masia? Because we know La Masia produces. So for the first time in a long while, I can praise the Castilla for bringing somebody that I love and I appreciate what he's doing. So far, so good for Zabi. I hope they'll get him a midfielder and a defender who can become okay. Let's say Militao can be trusted, but see, they have the best keeper in the world. That save Courtois made against Dortmund. That guy, what is wrong with him? Why? What kind of save is that? The more he's aging, the more he's understanding the goalkeeping role to crazy. You can't just score Courtois any cheap goal. No. And like now, he's the best keeper. I don't know if anybody can debate. He's the best keeper in the world, and it's crazy. So for me,
the Donnarumma deal.
Donnarumma Courtois. I think Courtois edges you.
They are coming up against each other. Elikem, both Donnarumma up against Courtois, PSG up against Real Madrid. PSG have been rampant and dominant this season in the domestic league, in the Champions League, even in the Club World Cup. Luis Enrique's men have gone out there to unleash their fury on all the teams that they've come across. Now they come against a Real Madrid team which will pose them a significantly greater threat than everybody else has. And what approach do you think Xabi Alonso has to impose on this game if he wants to get anything at all from it?
For PSG, look, they're in a world of their own. I kept saying that there were questions about PSG ahead of the Champions League final. Now, after they won it, it's like they feel like a huge burden has been cast off them. The players are now playing with some kind of confidence, as though they know they have arrived. That is what I've seen about PSG since they won the Champions League till now. You watch the first game against Atletico, they just feel like they can control every situation on the pitch. And when the team gets to that level, we are talking about a team having the mentality. I'm not saying the performance, but the mentality of the Pep Guardiola Barcelona sides, where they feel they face every team. When they face every team, they can be able to control every moment of the game. And I just like how PSG have grown as a team. Bear in mind, these players are still young. The very best of them, João Neves, Vitinha, the ones who are the engine of the team are still very young and they have a lot of growing to do. So it's scary to think how good they can become. So for PSG, just a quick one, I'm very, very impressed by them. They face a Madrid side who are still very much in the process of learning under a new manager. Luis Enrique has the side on lock. You watch them against Bayern and you watch how quickly they were able to change and open them up in the second half. This Madrid side is a side that haven't grown yet, and Xabi Alonso. Ajo has spoken a lot about the good things they've been doing. He's spoken a lot about how well they've played under him, the 3-back system and everything. But look, this PSG side are a side that thrive on spaces. Madrid are going to leave spaces in behind, and they are going to... You see, the spaces Madrid do not want PSG to enter, those are the same spaces PSG are going to enter. I think PSG are going to win this game, and I fancy their chances a lot. I look at Madrid against Dortmund. Honestly, I was disappointed with Dortmund. I think Dortmund didn't pull their weight on the day.
I think they realized their capabilities too late.
Yes,
not even giving them so much respect.
Of course, when you score a late goal with 7 minutes, you have that sense to push on. So I'm not even going to look at them, but I'm not even going to praise or acknowledge them for their last 10 minutes, for what they did in the last 10. But when you watch the game in totality, you just feel like Madrid and they were just... Dortmund were in first gear, while Madrid were in third or fourth gear. I'm really surprised about teams facing Madrid is the amount of space they give the Madrid fullbacks. It surprises me a lot. You see Arnold and Fran Garcia. They are almost always in acres of space. And I'm surprised teams are not noticing the danger Trent Alexander-Arnold possesses when you give him that much space. He's one of the best passers in the world. He's one of the best crossers of the ball. So when you continue to give him that much space, he's going to punish you. I don't think Nuno Mendes is going to give him that much space. I don't think... Maybe Pacho is going to be a huge loss. Regardless, it's going to be a huge.
I'm sure they'll
loss.
play Beraldo in there.
They're missing Patrick and also missing Dean Hoyson.
Exactly. So, but then again, I don't think Nuno Mendes is not going to give them that much space they've had. And I look at this PSG team, their midfield in particular. Madrid's midfield still need working on.
Yeah.
And one thing about this Madrid team you've seen throughout last season is once you dominate them in midfield, you are going to be able to open them up several. And PSG have 3 runners up front who are going to feed on those gaps they leave in defense. So I really appreciate Madrid, and I really noticed how serious they've taken this tournament. From like I said, from January, they've been speaking about the Club World Cup. They've really pulled their weight in making sure they take this tournament seriously. And I really acknowledge the gains they've had under Xabi Alonso, but they are coming against a PSG side that are just too oiled enough for them. Yeah, I do not think they have a way past this PSG side.
Kelvin,
yes,
you think Salah is a done deal for Luis Enrique's men? They are storming past this Madrid team, but they're missing a few players as well.
Yes.
Don't you think this would affect them going into this game?
It will, but very small. I think Beraldo, is it Beraldi?
Beraldo.
Yeah, Beraldo, yeah. He will be replacing Pacho as the left centre back. He will fit in perfectly. He's a very good passer of the ball, and I think he will do well. So before, if you permit me, I would like to talk about how Madrid set up and how PSG set up. Okay, so with Real Madrid, like I just mentioned, they play a 3-back system, and I would like to divide it into 3, right? So Real Madrid we have their structural formation. They have also the style that allows them to be creative while they move freely, and also their defensive setup where they try to do high pressing. So looking at their structural arrangement, right? Real Madrid play a 3-4-2-1.
Yeah.
Yes, they play a 3-4-2-1 formation. Right, that's their structure. And Tchouaméni plays as the main centre back. Behind them, we have Dean Hoyson and also Rudiger at the back. And these wing backs, right? You made mention of teams leaving spaces for the wing back that Trent Alexander-Arnold and Fran Garcia. I don't think the teams want to leave that space. It's Real Madrid forcing them to create that space.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I not to catch you, but it's one thing I noticed how they flat the mid, how the runners in midfield go at the centre backs or the full backs of their opposing teams, allowing their wing backs to go into those acres of space. But it's still a danger. I'm saying, because every coach facing Madrid will know the danger Trent Alexander-Arnold comes with when he crosses the halfway line, and they should be able to work. And one thing I noticed about PSG in the games against Arsenal, and I think in their Champions League games, and especially the one against Arsenal, even against Liverpool, is Nuno Mendes. He rarely bombed forward when he faced Salah, when he faced Saka, because he realized the danger he possessed. He was on them, and he really marked out that space, really limiting those two players to a lot, even though they had their moments with him. But that kind of I watched Madrid against Dortmund, and it was quite criminal. Like Trent, he had like a whole acres of space around him, and I was surprised. Like, how can you leave that much space for Trent? He's going to punish you.
Yes. Okay, so like I was saying, so they play this system where it allows these fullbacks to occupy wide areas, and also you see the likes of Vinicius Junior coming to the party. Vinicius Junior likes to play on the left side, but this time he's playing in the house space where he has to change positions with Fran Garcia. You have a player like the Gonzalez guy who is playing in place of Mbappe, but I'll come to how a style of play will change a bit when Mbappe is in the team. So this system allows Xabi Alonso to play short passes in the midfield. It allows the players to move freely. That's why he wants the wingers to the wing backs to be as shell forwards, like some people would say, shell forwards. So there will be a lot of numbers inside. So these interpositional changes will help them to play very well. So I made mention of Mbappe coming to the team. When Mbappe comes to the team, Mbappe is inclined to play on the left flank. So whenever Mbappe comes, he loves to drift to the left side. So when Mbappe drifts, it leaves a space up front. If it was Gonzalez, he would have filled the central area. Mbappe leaves that space, and it allows this central midfielders, the likes of Valverde and the likes of Arda Güler, to run into the box to get their chances on goal. So it's also an advantage. It's not a deficit for Real Madrid. They can do well in that formation. Now you speak of PSG. I always go by this quote by Pep Guardiola. He says that you have to be a good coach, you have to understand the secrets of the game, then you use it to your advantage. So almost every coach is playing based on how they see the game, the secrets they've seen. Mourinho sees that if I defend a lot and the opponent will come at me and I'll get a lot of spaces behind them. Pep Guardiola believes that if you move, you will be able to create space, because football, opponents change. They don't just chase the ball, they chase movements, because the player who is eventually going to get the ball is the most dangerous player. So why would you be looking at the player holding the ball? You have to look at the player who's potentially going to receive the ball. That's what Luis Enrique is capitalizing on. If you're able to move a lot, you're able to create spaces, and it's that simple. Football is very simple for PSG. It's not any complex system. It's just about them understanding spaces and using them to the advantage. Now, the way Real Madrid defend very compact. When they all come back and defend. But we've realized some problems in their defense. I'll mention 3 players. Tchouaméni, I'll mention Arda Güler, and I'll mention Valverde. There have been traces of laziness on the part of Arda Güler and also Tchouaméni when they are transitioning from attack to defense. That's where the opponent has the ball and they are transitioning to score the goals, right? There's been a lot of through balls going through them, and they are a bit lazy to come back and defend as they should, right? It's like Arda Güler is playing the role of Granit Xhaka at Leverkusen. Yes, and Valverde is playing the role of this guy, Robert Andrich.
But is he suited to that Arda Güler?
To that system?
Yes. To play the kind of role he's playing. Because Arda Güler is more of an offensive, maybe a number 10. Yes. At best.
Yes, I feel he's limiting him. But Arda Güler is smart enough to play. Defensively, it won't help the team. But offensively, he'll do a lot. And he also knows how to shoot. You see, this system also has brought up a start where Real Madrid have surprisingly taken a lot of shots outside the box, and it's contributed by Fede Valverde and Arda Güler. In Leverkusen, this was done by Andrich and Granit Xhaka. They scored a lot of goals from those positions. I feel like those two can help them, but defensively they've been a problem. And this guy Tchouaméni, I made mention of Tchouaméni. Tchouaméni has been very fantastic under this system, but you watch the game against Juventus, right? This guy Kolomwani was able to use Tchouaméni a lot. The system where this guy plays, Xabi Alonso plays, when the striker is is in between the opponent's defenders and their central midfielder, there's a space over there that Xabi Alonso requires the central centre back to jump. So let's say Kolomwani has the ball and he's facing his goal post. Tchouaméni has to jump and make sure he doesn't make the turn for a pass. You understand? So there were occasions where Tchouaméni did not make the jump because he felt like if he did, he would have left a lot of space. But there was no danger at that time. He had to move to cover the opposition striker, which I feel like it will affect them coming to the PSG team because Dembele will not stay up front. Dembele is very mobile, and Dembele will use that to his advantage. That Mbappe shimmy where he'll do like he's running to that side, and you give you some small body, you decide on which side you are trying to defend, and he will make his run to receive the ball. Dembele also knows how to do that. So Dembele will punish Real Madrid if Tchouaméni does not wake up, if he doesn't change the way he plays. And also Real Madrid, this guy Frank Garcia, whenever Mbappe is on the pitch, it will force Vinicius Jr. to move from the half space into a left winger where he has to hug the touchline, right? So this is also limiting Frank Garcia's going forward. Frank Garcia becomes more reserved, more than Trent Alexander-Arnold, who will be most likely going up front. So it will also create some security for Rudiger. Ajo mentioned Rudiger to Xabi Alonso will cause him to be aggressive when they don't have the ball. Yes, because their system is a bit lopsided because of the right-footed players like Vinicius and Mbappe. So that side becomes a bit exposed, and every time Rudiger has to jump. So when Rudiger jumps, there's a bit space created. But when Frank Garcia comes down a bit, he'll be able to shift the defensive line where you have Hausen moving on to the other side of the defense. So it will help Rudiger a bit. He also said Trent Alexander-Arnold, he has to be marked. Yes, he has to be marked because, and Real Madrid too, that like I mentioned, they said their system is a bit lopsided because of how they have to shift to that side to favor Vinicius and also Mbappe. So it creates that space where whenever Vinicius moves inside, he has to pass to Trent Alexander-Arnold, and he's very dangerous. So teams have to mark him, and I don't feel like he said Mendes will defend well. He will not give Trent Alexander-Arnold the space that he had in the previous game. It will affect the PSG team if he tries to mark Arnold, because this Madrid team is very they have their players in the central area, the central channel. So if you decide to move one player to mark the player who is free for your opponent, it means that you are giving up numbers, because you have to shift. When the defense shifts to the left side, the whole team have to shift. But there has to be weight, of course, but the whole team has to shift. But if you have one player shifting to go and mark Trent Alexander-Arnold, it means you are giving up numbers, and your central area becomes exposed as well eventually. So it will be difficult for them. Yes, so, and I just want to say PSG will go to the final.
So Calvin thinks PSG will go to the final.